keep on until I find out who did this. And I want them to know, I'm coming at you now.
A new push tonight for answers in a murder mystery. The victim's sister believes someone targeted her brother in a hate crime. Randy Huckabout's sister sat down with WECT's Ashley Kozakowski.
Ashley's in the studio now. Ashley, tomorrow marks 34 years since Randy's murder and still no arrest in the case?
And time has not eased his sister's pain. Now she spent more than half of her life without her brother, her best friend. She says instead of it getting easier with the passage of time, it's getting more difficult.
I might get a glance at his picture and I'll hold him. And I'll say, Randy, please let me know something.
Patricia Rongoats is still waiting for that sign 34 years after her brother's murder.
We used to go out dancing all the time. I don't dance anymore. I haven't danced since he died.
He died on January 25th, 1986. His body found at Optimist Park. Patricia had to identify him in the hospital.
I still see images of his body, which was just, oh. You could never imagine that somebody could be that angry or mean at somebody that they could just do what they did to him. They broke every bone in his face. He didn't have a face. And then I see him in the coffin and see he doesn't have a face, that they have to make one up. And it don't even look like him. And I'm thinking, oh dear God, who could do this?
Tasked with trying to find who did this.
And this was pretty brutal.
Sergeant Myron Irving of the Wilmington Police Department. He recently reviewed the evidence. I asked him what it will take to close this case all these years later.
Some public help. You know, I am sure that someone out there in the community, you know, maybe knows something, maybe has heard something, you know, and I would ask, you know, that they come forward. I would hope that if the person ultimately responsible, if they see this error, if they would have some compassion in their heart to come forward and do the right thing.
That's if the killer is still alive. Irving says a WPD detective reviewed the case in 2018 and found some witnesses and even some possible suspects may be dead. Still, Irving is hopeful. While who did this remains a mystery, some are sure of why it happened. His family believes Randy was targeted because he was gay.
It was a hate crime. I didn't never want to say that, but I'm going to honestly say it now. It was a hate crime.
If he was targeted for that, that should have never happened. You know, whether it was 1986 or, you know, now, it just should have never happened.
Finding out what happened, something Patricia is determined to do.
And I want them to know, I'm coming at you now. You know, 34 years is just too long. You've had plenty of time to enjoy your life. I want to enjoy the rest of my life. I want peace.
That peace will come when she gets justice. And his family last saw him before he went out on a cigarette run to a shop at 3rd and Dawson. But witnesses say he was last seen around 2:30 in the morning along Front Street. He got into a car with an unknown person.